What's up, guys? So I signed up for the Battlefield Labs. The Battle Royale mode is going to be soon, and you have to sign up. They do suggest you take a survey. The survey lets them know exactly what kind of games are you into, all that, and then basically they're going to send you a link in the email once you get that opportunity to try out the Battle Royale. And from what I'm hearing, the Battle Royale is shaping up to be one of those maps that is going to be iconic. The whole fire ring is going to be intense. I think this is going to be a more personable gaming satisfaction experience with those last soldiers on the map matches, because you can't hide inside the ring of fire. You get burned, you die instantly. So I think that's going to be quite impressive. They're already talking about the same destruction that we see in the multiplayer mode actually being in the Battle Royale. They are talking about the tanks, the vehicles, but I think that is something that has yet to been discussed, whether it's going to be easy to obtain these vehicles or whether you have to try to complete some contracts in order to get these vehicles. So from what I'm hearing about from other influencers, YouTubers, basically are like excited for this whole battle royale. I'm excited too, but I'm also excited for the whole multiplayer aspect, because I think the multiplayer is the key element of why we're playing this game again. You know what I mean? Like, it's that we're back moment. Battlefield 2042, when the game released, they had a lot of issues. I still played the game, but I didn't feel like it was the Call of Duty at the time. I felt like it was a more watered down version, soft version of Call of Duty at the time, because you gotta remember Call of Duty had the the 2019, then it was the Cold War. So those were the two games that were basically in that realm, so to speak. So now we are playing the game that has to do with Battlefield 6. In my opinion, is great. The beta was great. We're going to find out who's going to be able to test out the Battlefield Labs. And I think that's going to be great, because the Battlefield Labs is going to give us the opportunity to play the Battle Royale. Now, you have Black Ops 7 right around the corner. If you have Xfinity, you could actually get your code now, and you could apply it to the Activision website. They will send you a link when the beta is available. So with that being said, that's something that you could get a hold of the code. I think if you pre-order the game too, you will have an access to the code as well. Black Ops 7, in my opinion, they're talking about so many things that they're taking out of the game, which is going to be a refreshing Call of Duty for a change. Now, I'm more excited for Modern Warfare 4, but in the meantime, bring on Black Ops 7. Take out the disbanding lobbies. Take out the tac sprint. No doors. Give us something that's going to feel organic, and it's going to feel natural in the sense of the Call of Duty universe. The weapons. I know it's not going to have all the destruction that Battlefield is already showing us, right? They're not going to have that destruction. But what they are going to have is, in my opinion, the feeling of the gunplay. I think is going to be key. The way the guns feel when you shoot them, the animations, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be really cool, in my opinion. So the animations, the gunplay, all that shit is going to be one of those things. You know what I mean? It's a situation where we are in good FPS times, because when the Battlefield 6 releases, when the Black Ops 7 releases, they have to compete against each other for the whole year around. And that's why Black Ops 7 is not going to have all these, corny skins, or hopefully they're not going to go back to that. We'll see, because Battlefield 6, in my opinion, I think is going to keep that whole mature level of the skins and the bundle packs and the weapons in some kind of check form, because Call of Duty's making all these changes already, and now we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. But as soon as the Battlefield Battle Royale, Battlefield 6 the beta is going to be available. I'm looking forward to being selected. I think I had a really good survey experience, and I just feel optimistic, like I'm going to be selected, and I hope you guys get selected too. I hope we all get to experience the Battle Royale, because I think the Battle Royale, in my opinion, is going to be a lot bigger than we think. I think it's going to have big numbers, the same as Warzone Battle Royale, because now we're dealing with destructive elements, vehicles. Now, I don't see any kill streaks. I think the kill streaks are going to be automatic from the vehicles. That's what I see, like it's a given. But I'm excited about the new map, a fresh map to go on the Battle Royale. It's going to be huge, in my opinion, because if the multiplayer beta was so much fun, just imagine what a Battle Royale could do for that game, as long as the key mechanics are the same. Now, they've already talked about they're going to slow down the movement, this, that, and the third. Maybe that's needed. Maybe that's needed to give it a more grounded, military-footed game. So, with that being said, in my opinion, Battlefield 6, pre-order, because that game is going to be fresh as if it's fresh off the grill, okay? Black Ops 7, it's your decision, because if you pre-order the game right now, we're going through a dispute. We're going through a revolt. We want the game to be good. In order for the game to be good, they have to have competition. We learned that without competition, they will not be caring or making a game for us, the players, that we want. They will make a game that will cater to their pockets of cash that they collect every single year. But now they have to think twice about the whole situation, because what's happening is we are in the situation where Call of Duty's realizing that they don't have that power of the pre-orders. And I think the pre-orders is a huge step in showing Call of Duty, showing Activision, showing Microsoft, showing Bill Gates from hell, everybody, that they're not going to change the people's opinions if they're not going to make a game that is centric to warfare and Call of Duty. You cannot mix the name Call of Duty and Fortnite and expect to have the same game. That's not happening. So, yeah, they're in panic mode. They're in panic mode. And what the panic mode is that we need this panic mode, because we're actually going to have things in our game that are going to be fun for us. Okay? And that's important. We need that shit. I didn't see that. Hold on. We need that in our games. We need that in our games, because our games are starting to become more dry. They're becoming just useless when it comes to us being impressed by next gen. You already have people talking about the next Xbox handheld, the ROG LIX. I was thinking about getting it, but I know it's expensive. But now they're even saying it's not even an Xbox. It's like you can still play the games, but it's not even what you guys are thinking it is. They're just using the name, and then they're branding that it's a PC form of tech hardware. You already know where Xbox is going with hardware, because if you think about it, they're taking away from the whole they're taking away from the whole Microsoft being the actual brand that just releases Gears of War, just releases all these games. They're all going platform to PlayStation, So we already know what they think about their hardware, and we'll see what happens with the next console. I'm still going to get it because it's part of the gaming ecosystem, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. In order for me to get a PC, I have to see the 6090 totally crush the specs of the 5090. I have to see Unreal Engine 5 come to a close and bring in Unreal Engine 6. Because Unreal Engine 5, you have too many people complaining about how bad it operates, how bad it runs on games. And that's a problem. That's a problem, because if you're paying so much money for these graphic cards, CPUs, motherboards, all these pieces that go together, PC gaming is expensive, man. Like, you could afford it, but once you pay for PC gaming, it's like you spend a ton of money, and it depreciates in value, because in a matter of like a half a year or something, you already got the new tech coming out. So when the new tech coming out, it's no longer good. You have to upgrade. You can still use it. It's going to be still powerful, but it's not going to be future proof for as long as you're thinking, because they always update these engines. Unreal Engine 6 is going to come out, but hopefully that's going to be way better than this Unreal Engine 5, because Unreal Engine 5, in my opinion, is just not making people happy. There's a lot of problems with it, and so that's the reality. This is my conversation with you guys. Battlefield 6, in my opinion, Battle Royale. Make sure you sign up at the Battlefield Labs, because that's what I did. I signed up, and I'm just waiting for that big break where they could just send me the link and say, you've been invited to try out this Battle Royale. Now, if I could live stream it, I will live stream it. If I'm told that I can't live stream it, I'll talk about what I've experienced, but I'm not going to be able to do what you guys want me to do. So, with that being said, I'm excited about Battlefield 6. I'm still excited about Black Ops 7, because it's a new Call of Duty. They're going to have new tactical insertion. They're going to have new weapons. It's just going to be something different. I don't want it to feel like we're playing Cold War. I don't want it to feel like we're playing Black Ops 6. I want it to feel like we're playing a totally new game, because that's what we need. We need a new game. If we don't have a new game, then what's the point of supporting Black Ops 7 if it's not going to feel different from Black Ops 6? You might as well call it a DLC. And they're just trying to make huge amounts of money off of a DLC. That's my opinion. Black Ops 6, this video was made for Black Ops 6, because in my opinion, Black Ops 6 is going to be the game of all games. Black Ops 6 is going to be the game that redefines, Battlefield 6 is going to be the game that redefines the FPS shooter, the whole military perspective, and Black Ops 7, in my opinion, is going to give us a little, I think a little break from all this, like, crack jumping, crack running, all these players that are just like high on octane all over the map, that kind of thing. And the multiplayer is going to thrive when Battlefield 6 releases. The Battle Royale beta that we're going to get to try out, if we're selected, is going to be, in my opinion, the same as the multiplayer, because I don't think they would mess that up either. They're already cooking really good food with the multiplayer. I think the second week of the beta, in my opinion, was not as fun as the first week of the beta. The first week of the beta just had these feelings of like, this is going to be great. The second week, when they had the smaller maps and it was like the urban Brooklyn area, I think it was a little bit more campy, and the spawn die spawning points weren't that great. So at this point now, we know that we're getting closer to the release of the Battlefield 6. That game is going to be huge when it comes to people playing it, streaming it, talking about it, the reviews, all that stuff. It's already good as it is. And, I'm glad that they took out the ray tracing. I don't think it's needed. It looks great just the way it is. I think if they added the ray tracing, it would slow the game down, and they knew that, and they have to keep it fast-paced. That's why it's called FPS shooter, fast-paced shooting, FPS shooter, first-person shooter. That's another way of saying it. So with that being said, Black Ops 7 is going to be a decent game, I think. But also Battlefield 6 is going to be a huge change in how we play FPS games. So if you like this content, then keep watching, tune in, subscribe to the Stealth Dragon channel, hit the like button, comment. I want to hear your comments about everything I had to say. I made this video for a reason, so we can get ready for these 2 FPS juggernauts that are going to be releasing, because you know Call of Duty is still going to have a huge edge, and so will Battlefield 6 being introduced into the FPS. When we played Battle 42, 2042 was still, excuse me, it wasn't that it wasn't fun. It's just the map felt flat and the guns didn't feel as punchy, as powerful. So, alright guys, so in my opinion, Battlefield 6 is going to be a great game this year around. And I think Black Ops 7 is going to be a decent game too. We just have to wait and see what the beta is going to show for us. And make sure that if you have Xfinity, you go into Xfinity and you select to get your code, then you apply the code in the Activision website, and they will let you know when the beta is available. They will send you a code to play the beta. You can download it. Alright guys, Stealth Dragon for life. We are Stealth Dragons. We breathe fire. Humans breathe air. I'll see you guys on my next video.